Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox here on the show this evening is my mucker Southside and the legend and the king of Rangers Radio, the Bridgeman. How we doing, gentlemen?
Good, Ox. Good to be on the night with the legend, as you say, the Bridgeman. And can I give a shout out to all the troops that will be listening in on YouTube and thank them for joining us this evening and everybody else out there in Facebook land that's listening in.
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening, Ox. Yeah, glad to be on tonight. Of course, Southside's going to look after me, and of course, the techie boys in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, happy days for a couple anyway. Happy days. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hi, Bridge. What's it all about?
Alfie, yeah. What's it all about, Alfie? I'll tell you. Is it just wonderful? I mean, I was listening to Southside saying, you know, they couldn't believe the score for last night. Well, you end up, you start looking at it every other minute, you know, to see if there's any change. And they scored. By the way, I saw a wee snippet on YouTube or something with 2 goals that Dundee United scored. Absolutely brilliant goals. Yeah, get in there. So that was a good surprise. But I don't know if they're going to keep their manager. So I don't know what you're going to do about that. We're going to support them with that manager. Sorry, I joke.
Oh, well. Listen, I'm quite content for everybody to be happy and laughing Southside. We just need to take care of ourselves, but no sympathy for them and help slap into them there.
No, it's good to watch at the moment, but it's what we do and what we've got today, and we're back in the hunt, obviously, in this title race, and we've just got to take it as it comes, and we've got big games coming up, and we've got to make sure that we get the wins on the table and in the bank and get the points on the table, and then we'll see where we are. So, it's good at the moment, but we've got to make sure that we keep winning, Ox, and at the moment, Danny Rowell's doing not a bad job with the sort of squad that he's got, and it's down to us and the team to carry us forward and put in a right good challenge in this title now, Ox.
When they game on Sunday, Southside, they're right in it, mate, yeah?
Aye, 100%. Don't have any fears for Sunday, to be honest. Looking forward to it. And it'll be a good game, good atmosphere always at Tynecastle. But it's a massive game for us. Hearts have got that cushion on us at the moment, and if we can put a dent in that on Sunday and claw back 3 points, and I think we've got a game in hand as well, if we can win that, then obviously it puts us 3 points behind them. I think they're 9 in front or something, round about that. But Sunday will be interesting, but we've got to make sure that no matter what the performance is like, we come back for Tynecastle with 3 points, Ox.
Yeah. Right, okay. Right, I've got a wee quiz for you two.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right. Right. You ready?
You're at it. No, you're at it.
Go on. I'm on Indian Bridge, man. You've no chance.
I've no chance, I know.
My mind's no here. You're all right, Southside.
There's mine, Bridge.
Just shout out the answer. We just want the first name. Is that all right?
Aye, okay.
All right, you all right with that, Bridge?
Yeah, I'll try my best.
All right, you sure do, right? Okay, here's your first question. You ready?
Oh, God.
Frank Sinatra's daughter.
Nancy.
Well done, Bridge. One to Bridge. Right. Second question. Leader of the long-standing leader of the House in the American Congress.
Standing.
Female.
Is that the Polanski? Is it Polanski her name is?
First name, Bridge. First name.
Oh, sorry. Nancy. Nancy,
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well, 2-0 to Bridge. This one's worth 3 points. Sven's Goran Eriksson's partner when he was manager of England.
Oh, Nancy.
Nancy!
Brilliant.
All
Unless you
right.
have a
Did you say
brain.
Nancy or Nancy there? I just couldn't
Oh,
quite
I
catch him.
slipped to
It
slipped
must
into
be
vernacular
it
there.
must be the
Too
line there.
Francais.
Unlucky Southside, unlucky, mate.
Aye, I
He
know.
didn't care. He didn't
I wasn't caring. Correct, Bridge. Correct, Amundo.
We'll go to laugh Southsider.
Well, it's at the moment, it's good to watch, and the implosion, getting to the point where we've always said before, they chased 2 Israelis out the door, and they denied that, and now they're chasing their board members down the road, and they're saying they're in fear of their life, and they can't take any merit. And I'll tell you what, if that mob had went through what we went through for 2012 onwards, they're not even had a patch of what we've had to suffer as a support, you know.
They'd
Done
have
the
burnt the
likes a
stadium.
lot,
They'd have
you
burnt the
know.
stadium down.
Can you imagine what they'd be like for what for the way they're acting now? But Orwell's come out and nailed it. I'm just wondering how. I'm not surprised, right? I'm not, but if he's coming out and saying what he's saying, then how's the police not involved in trying to chase some of these characters down then, if this is the case, you know?
Maybe if they just lifted the phone and chased the other nonsense out the club, they might not be under the border, but that's another story. Right, okay, but some news broke for the club yesterday. I don't know what you took on that Southside, but the guy coming in, the Liverpool boy, the ex-Liverpool player, I just want to make sure I get his name right. And it's rumoured that Lee McCulloch could be joining us, mate, as part of the recruitment. And I didn't realise Lee had moved into that as a career. So, I mean, there's sense in it, you know, and if Lee McCulloch's part of the recruitment, and I mentioned it last night, somebody like Ridvan and Homer turned up at left back, was saying, are you joking? You having a laugh? No, I know about their ability, about their stature to play in the Scottish League, mate. So I can see some of the common sense in that. The other boy, I think it might be a try before you buy. You never know. Or he's coming in today, but it's a fake job. Yeah. I mean, just while you're commenting, say don't get his name. But
I'm beyond the bit, isn't it?
Aye, that's the one, mate. That's the one. Aye, wasn't a bad player, and obviously had success with the clubs he's been at in Scandinavia. So what? It was all under wraps, just broke, mate. So things have changed in that also. We had to bring somebody in to help with. We're going to be busy, so they've moved, and he's reporting directly to Andrew Kavanagh. So he's not making the same mistake again, mate.
No, it's obviously somebody they've looked at and they reckon they can come in and do a job going forward for a period of time. I don't think he's going to be there a long time, but I think he'll be there for a period of time, is the way they've said it. And hopefully he'll help in what he's going to be doing, asked to do, and help with recruitment and stuff. So we'll just have to see how it develops, Ox. But they've obviously sounded him out, and he's the man that's tasked with the job. So hopefully he'll get started, and hopefully we're going to get a few signings in. I know January's not a great window to shop in and that, but we need reinforcements, and we need 2 or 3 out the door. So hopefully between him and whoever else, they get the job done. I'm sure Danny Rowe will have a bit of knowledge in players as well. So I'd like to think that January could be a bit fruitful, because if we can get the right characters in the door that can go ready to hit the ground running and make the difference, then it will certainly put a charge on for us in the second half of the season. But we need to make sure that we do the business up to then. So it leaves us a right good fighting chance come January.
Aye. I mean, if we get 3 players in it, right in our team, I know that's no hunters and hunters of bodies, but if we get 3 first teamers in that's in the team, and maybe another couple for the future, I can handle that, and maybe sign players that you bring in the summer, normal business. I'm all right with that also, Bridge. 3, but people might want 4, 5, 6. I get that, I understand that. I'm just trying to be realistic with 3 being a number, you know, because of the one day it is.
Well, I've said for a wee while now, we need to get someone in, or maybe a number of people in that are, you know, shall we say, get some sort of standing in football, you know, even just Scottish football for that matter. Bring them in. I don't want to spend any money on anyone, just bring them in, see if they can do anything for us. But
You just don't like spending money, full stop.
Well, yeah, you're right, but I don't mind. I don't mind going out and paying some money for something decent on the part. They do their bit. I wouldn't mind that at all. However, we've been a bit unlucky with some of them we bought. They just didn't work out for us. But the guy is coming in, and he's going to be, shall we say, a temporary role rather than a full-time role. Yeah, he's going to be temporary as a, let's say, a director of football. As far as I'm looking for someone to be in as quickly as possible in that role, so that we've got a transfer window coming up in a couple of weeks' time. If he gets himself in, and I think he's here already, so he gets himself in and settled in, gets to know everybody around about him as much as possible, and then he's going to do his trick. And hopefully he's going to manage to pick some, you know, him and our manager managed to pick somebody up, maybe 2 or 3, and we'll see what happens. But I just couldn't imagine us going past the new year without anybody at the helm, insofar as that's concerned. We've got a temporary CEO, and now we've got a temporary guy going to do the business and director of football role, and we need that. We need that from an executive perspective. We need it, and let's go out and do it. And I'm quite sure we're going to end up with maybe 2 or 3, and hopefully good quality guys coming in, because the guy that's coming in is no numpty. He knows the football in this country, not necessarily all in Scotland, but he knows what the British football style's about. And Scotland's got a wee bit of uniqueness in that, but I'm sure he knows something about that too. And of course, the manager's there who knows a wee bit more about it. So you're getting there, and the intelligence in the executive and the management role is going to come and get built on. Well, look as if we're starting to build things, and I'm very happy with that. And let's hope it continues.
With new personnel, because the last personnel, let's just say they weren't up to the job, Southside. We'll leave it at that. We've debated that a lot, yeah?
Right, definitely. We've got to look forward. We've got to look forward in any new person that comes in and who we employ now. There's been enough mistakes being made at these levels, and it's now time to get it correct and get us functioning as a football club and the right people in the right jobs. Just you can't keep making the same mistakes going forward. So, aye, it's a positive step with what we've done at the moment. Maybe Bjorn will be coming in, and hopefully he can do a job box. And I dare say he's got good experience, and we'll see what happens going forward. But at the end of the day, we've got to make the right signings in January, and I think by now we should have a few that they're maybe looking at, and we think we could maybe get in the door. And like you say, we'll hear about them when it gets to the start of January. But hopefully the right people will come in and get this club moving.
And do you think if we get a result on Sunday, the atmosphere and that will improve at the game? I mean, I know you were there Monday night, and obviously it's always a game against the Hibs. It's always lively. It's one of the bigger games apart from the Old Firm game. What would you say? Obviously against them, and then Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts, in any order you like, depending how the season's going. Traditionally, would be the big game. So. But we need to get the support behind the team, Southside, get bums and seats, people supporting the team, and hopefully we can move this on and start cementing the club back together again, because in a matter of weeks, the wheels fell off and everything get toxic, you know, and we need to move away from that, mate, yeah?
No, 100%. And you can see the progress that Danny Roll's making at the moment with the squad that he's working with. And he's just finding a way to get results, and some of the players are starting to show a wee bit for him, and you can get a wee reaction out of some of them, and it should start to bring a lot of the support back together, sometimes it has been a wee bit fractured. Obviously, Christmas time, leading up to Christmas, and that people have got a lot of commitments and things. Monday night and all doesn't always help kick off. Same with Saturday nights at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock and stuff like that and that. But I'd like to think that there'll only be about 564s at the game, apart from maybe one or two dotted about the stadium as always and bits in the hospitality. But there's only going to be behind that goal to 564s at the game on Sunday. But I'm sure that'll be enough. You'll hear them loud and proud as always to cheer the team on. But after that we've got a couple of home games, and if people can get behind the team, if we can get the right result on Sunday, carries a bit more momentum. And then we've got, I think it's Motherwell St Mirren at some point before we head across the city in January. And if we can get the wins in the bag before we get to there, and then do a number on them, we're there. And then we've got 2 Aberdeen games. They're certainly big games, Hawks. They're the games that you want to be involved in, and the players should feel the same. But it'll put us right in. It'll put us right in the mix, and then we'll see how the other 2 go on. As long as we keep winning, then we can look to see what Hearts do after. We can beat them at Tynecastle on Sunday, and then with that mob day across the city. If they keep going the way they're going, it'll be happy days. And we'll be right in the mix, and then hopefully we can put a charge on come January. But we've got to make sure that we get the right result on Sunday first and foremost. It'll be a hard game, and Hearts have got some good players, and players that can hurt us. And obviously we've got to jump in the defence again. It's going to be changed again, Ops. But it's there in front of that squad of players to go and do the business, and hopefully they will.
If you're honest, you want to win every game. And we've got to run 6 big games domestically. Yeah, 6 big games. You know, because of the way the fixtures are full. And if we were to go and take, 10 out of 12 and then win the other 2, 16 out of 18 points, mate, we'll be right back in this league. In fact, there's a possibility we could be sitting top of the league. Yeah, but you can only take 1 game at a time, Bridge.
Absolutely, 1 game at a time. But the words both of you are saying is absolutely spot on, And we're shall we say, we're putting everything on the game coming up against Hearts, and maybe it's a wee bit too much. I'm saying this with with trepidation. I know that Hearts are a good outfit this season. Sometimes they dropped off a wee bit, and we are hoping that this week will be one of the times that they've dropped off because they played football at 90 mile an hour. We don't play football at that pace anymore unless we're going forward for 20 yards in the second half of the game. That's what we're not normally, it seems to me anyway. But there's no doubt you're right. Their words are absolutely spot on. If we get 3 points this weekend, my goodness gracious, that's going to give us a superb chance. Absolutely superb chance looking forward. And really and truly, we should not fear anyone. If we beat Hearts, we shouldn't be fearing anyone in the league because Hearts have been really good in the league. And if we could take 3 points after them, that'll be, for me, just magic. Just utterly magic. I think the way the team's going, I know that I think that, is it Giga? I think he's out. For Sunday, I don't think he's available.
He's away to the AFCON, mate. He's away to the AFCON.
Oh, AFCON, right? Okay. That's a pity.
I mentioned that the other night, Southside. I want your take on it. To take a player on loan and knowing you're going to lose him for a month of January, I don't know if it's a great idea, mate.
It's
questionable, isn't it?
as if he actually knew that. And we don't know, but you think you would do your homework on players and if they're representing their country and what sort of tournaments are coming up and whatever's entails in it. I don't know if Hearts will lose any players. I don't know if they have anybody. I've not really looked at their squad, so I don't know. They might lose 1 or 2 players as well. I don't know. But it's not great, but he's been picked and he's away, and it's down to us to put somebody else in there and sort it out. There's one or two players we know.
Back at the right time, mate. Sterling coming back at the right time.
Aye, it's good to see him come back and get minutes and that, and he's got the physicality and he can sort of play. Although we've hardly seen him, I think you flashed up his record in about 2.5 years or something, isn't it? Maybe even close to 3 seasons now, is it? That he's been at the club, but it was a bad injury, and it's a long time that you're out.
On a sprinkler that came out during the week, yeah?
The what?
He done it on a sprinkler.
Aye.
Aye.
But at the end of the day, he's back and he's an extra body we can add in, and you can see he'll make a difference to the team and the squad, and you can utilise him a wee bit about the park should we have to. But aye, it's good to see him back playing and getting minutes in the blue jersey helps.
Aye. Aye.
Can I ask a question, gentlemen, you two? Can I ask a question of the Lee McCulloch stuff? We've always wanted people like Lee McCulloch to come back and join Rangers, not just in the representation side of it, but I would like to see him in a particular, not a particular, but whatever role the club wants to give him as it suits him. But you were saying he's actually in management of some description.
No, he's doing recruitment, mate. Recruitment.
There you go. That's management. That's the management side. Not as a manager, but as recruitment. So if he's into that side of the game, I don't know if he's been really successful in it, so forgive me. But that's brilliant, because what are Rangers looking for? Looking for people that can recruit, isn't they? So I think it would be nice if Big Lee gets in there. And actually, I think it would be a great reward for him for what he did for us during the 2012 to 2014. I think he was absolutely superb. So a great reward for him for that, I tell you. Sounds exciting.
I'm just checking that they're saying he does it Brighton exactly what his title was. But aye, obviously he started up and trying to get into management, never quite worked for him, but maybe once people get involved in things, they could do in a different avenue sometimes in the game south side. But what I would say about it, if he's the right fit,
I'm not. Is he the right fit? But is he the right fit? That's the thing. Listen, he was handsomely rewarded for when the time he played for Rangers. He was looking for a new contract, if I remember. We didn't give him one, and he ended up getting a knee injury and an operation not long after. He signed for Kilmarnock, I think. He done a job for us, but I'm not getting sentimental about it. And saying that we should just bring him back. We need the right person to come in and do the job. I get he knows the club and he knows what it takes to be a Rangers player and stuff, but he's new into that role of what he's doing. And Brighton don't just have one of these people, they have 3, 4 of them. When Davy Weir was there, he worked with different sporting directors, if you want to call them that, or whatever you want to call them. There was 2 or 3 of them, maybe even 4 of them, doing different roles. Some would work with loan players and sorting out loan deals, and one would be working on maybe looking at other players, younger players. One would look at different things. So he's got a job there, he's done a bit, but I wouldn't get too excited about thinking that he is the guy that's going to fix your problems. I think we should take our time on it and get the right person in. So I'll wait and see. But listen, Bridge, I get what you're saying and I understand it, but don't forget the jig was well rewarded for his time playing for Glasgow Rangers doing the leagues.
Of course he was. Absolutely.
But
I'm just glad if the guy gets back to Ibrox, it'll be another reward on top of whatever he's had, because I think he's done a great job for us during the bad years, particularly the bad 2 years. So I'd love him to come back, and if he's doing a really good job at Brighton, doing that role in the recruitment, well, can we not use those skills? I tell you, they're really good. They're really good.
Right. I don't think there's room for sentiment. I like if there's 2 guys and they've got the perfect skill set, I'd rather have one of our own. So if that was Mr. Bloggs and Lee McCulloch, and Mr. Bloggs is the exact same skill set as Lee for me should get the job. But if Mr. Bloggs is a better fit and the better guy at the job, no room for sentiment, Southside.
Oh, of course. Oh, sorry, pal, sorry.
No, carry on, Bridge. But
no, I was just going. It's just that was just meant. I agree with you. That I don't want to be sentimental about things, in that way. All I was meaning was if the guy's been approached, then and he gets a job, then I'll be delighted for him because I think he deserves it. Come back to Rangers and seeing a big chunk of his next what do you call it, next employment or whatever role he's doing in the recruitment, because we need recruitment people here.
All right, better get the phone lines opened there. And I think Hearts are losing one player to the AFCON, mate. Let me see if I get his name. Kabori. Yeah, he's been a bit bad player for them. Yeah. Let's hear from these.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, it's an interesting few weeks. Southside, you're no one for putting the white flag up. Never have been since I've known you yet. Don't think you've been forever, but well, I think a lot of us when Danny Rowe, thought this domestic league campaign could be written off, but we're now back in it, and I'm not saying we have to win on Sunday. If we win, it's a big step. If we don't get beat, we're still in it. But it's quite a remarkable turnaround.
Aye, it is. You've got to believe once you get on a wee momentum and the run starts to come back. And if we still had the previous manager, we'd probably never near it. So, but we're no. And things change in football. Sometimes it surprises you, as we've seen on many occasions. And right now we're back in the mix, 100% right back in the mix. And the Hearts have got the advantage, but we always thought Hearts wouldn't last the pace. They went on a run where they lost some games and drew. I think they've only won 2 at the last 7 or something, around about that. I'm not sure, but it's around about that. So they've had a bad spell where we thought they wouldn't keep winning with the consistency levels. That mob across the city have imploded. And all we said, wait to see who they employ, and then we'll see. Because when Rodgers left, you've got to get the management bit right, and they've went for him, and at the moment it's certainly not working out for them, but it's certainly working out for us in our favour at the moment, because we're right on their coattails now. And our manager in Danny Rowe's managing to get a tune out of these players at the moment. He's getting them to sort of do things for them now, and he's doing his best as what he can. The squad's still not good enough. We're short in many areas, as we all know, but we've got to just keep going, and so we're well back in the hunt, Hawks, and this league's certainly winnable. But we've got to do the business on Sunday. I agree, a point wouldn't be the worst, but really, we got to go to Tynecastle and win. We've really got to try and come back with the 3 points. We've got a good bit of momentum going at the moment, and if we hadn't been stupid at Dundee United in the Falkirk game in it, we'd have 4 points better off than what we've got. So that's what I'm looking at, and I'm looking at the squad of players at the moment. I know it'll be a hard game in Sunday. It'll certainly be a hard game, but we can go there and win, Hawks. Definitely we can go there and win. And then the momentum might start to shift, and we've just got to try and keep it going. It's a critical phase this month for us, and we really need to make sure that by the time we get to the start of January, that we are right on the coattails, or if not, our Hearts anyway. And if we're above that mob across the city, even better. And then we need to go and hunt Hearts down. They'll probably recruit in the summer. They'll probably recruit in January as well, I would imagine. But listen, we've got to look after ourselves, Hawks. And from where we were in the first 6 games of the season to where we are now, it's night and day, mate.
Right. Bridgeman, what do you see has changed?
I just see the manager change it all. I think that's what it is, and the players are responding to the manager and the fans, because the fans have stopped. Well, telling the purpose have stopped booing, which is a big bonus, and everybody's appreciating that the guys are trying. They're not the best players in the whole world by a long way, of course, but my goodness gracious, they do at times. They do put a shift in. Now, back to what as Southside was saying there, he's absolutely right. If we can go there and maintain what we're doing, the impetus that we've got in the game now, going away from home and winning, getting the 3 points, and if we do that at Tynecastle, that's to all intents and purposes, that's a miracle to some people in the Scottish press. All the Scottish pundits have all written Rangers off. Now, don't get me wrong, they probably write Rangers off all the time, but a lot of that's foot and mouth type of thing, you know. But in reality, this year, they don't expect us to do anything. But if we come back with the 3 points on Saturday and Sunday, then it's going to be foot and mouth to them again, but for the other reason, because we will be on the map. For 100% sure, we'll be back on the map again, and it's going to take a lot of how can we say it, a lot of cheating by the referees to get us off it, because we need to be able to do these things, and the players must start to get belief that they can A, get across the line, and B, score goals. You know, they can, these kind of things, very important for their confidence, and then they can look forward to the next game as a challenge and a challenge. When the great Walter Smith and Graham Souness, that's what they look forward to. Get the runs of 10 games in a row, and all that, you know, and go through nearly a season undefeated. And sometimes it was a full season undefeated. That's the kind of level we want to be playing and getting the results at. Definitely.
Aye, well, the next 6 games are really interesting. We're away to Hearts, away to that mob, and away to Aberdeen, you know, and home to Aberdeen, home to St Mirren. Horrible, but listen, you've got to play, you know, the fixtures are the fixtures, you know, you've got to play all these teams home and away at some point, Southside, you know.
Aye, we've got to. The way the fixtures have came, but we've got Aberdeen back to back, I think, in one of them, I believe. But listen, we've just got to make sure that we win. I suppose we're up against 12 men again on Sunday, because we've got Nick Walsh, our wee favourite, back refereeing us on Sunday. So he's got the game. So we can study his performance as usual. He looked at Don Robertson the other night and pretty poor, pathetic performance for him as well. So, you know, it's a norm these days, what you're up against, but hopefully we can overcome it. And as long as we play football and stick the ball in the net, and we can't give them anything to look at, or anything to try and chop off or look for anything. But Walsh, I'm not so keen on. I think he's proved himself on many occasions that he's not a supporter or gives us anything. He looks to more or less to give you nothing. When he can't even see when the ball's in the net at Easter Road, never mind anything else. So, but listen, he's the guy that's been chosen for Sunday. But we've just got to make sure that when we get to Tynecastle, that we get the 3 points. And then we'll take it as it comes, as the fixtures come. Like you say, we play home and away, and I'm confident. I'm really confident for Sunday. I know McInnes will have them fired up and he'll have a set game plan, and he's pretty good at what he does. But we've got a right good chance now of putting a dent into this, and the players should all realise that. And Danny Rowe's getting the response out the players, and even Mikey Moore's coming back a bit earlier than normal for injuries. We thought for the start, thought he'd bit longer. He's contributing, so he's getting a tune out of him, making him play. So we've got something to look forward to. There's always a good atmosphere there, Ox, but we've got to really be hoping that we'll go there and get the 3 points, and I don't see why we shouldn't, mate, to be perfectly honest.
Aye. Listen, you know, you mentioned Mikey Moore there. Talisman's maybe the right word for him, because when he came in, he did look like a wee boy. He seems to have got to the pace. He looks a wee as if he's bulked up slightly as well, in my opinion. He's got something about him, yeah, that I didn't think at the start of the season. I thought he was going to peter out. You know, he wants to get involved. He tries to make things happen. So we need him, because we do lack a bit of creativity, mate.
Aye.
Sorry.
No, you go.
Carry on, pal. Carry on.
No, I did. I wasn't one of the doubters. A lot of people come on. I think you doubted them for a bit, Ox, at times.
I did that.
Mikey Moore was a good player. I watched him at Tottenham. I seen he's a young boy, and at that time the whole squad and the team were going through a bad spell under Russell Martin. But you can see now that he's got a bit of probably a bit of belief through Danny Rowe coming in. give him a slightly different position to play for in the team. He can carry the ball forward. Tottenham know he's a good player. Tottenham have got ambitions for that boy to go and play on at Spurs, probably go and play for England and everything else. The boy is a really, really good talent, and he showed it many times at Tottenham in the glimpses and games that he had in Europe and in the first team. And we got a chance to get him, and now he's starting to show the capabilities of what he had, and hopefully he'll carry it on to the end of the season. And then it'll be up to Tottenham whether they want him back, or maybe if we could do another loan deal for him. I don't know. We'll see how he progresses. But he's certainly a player that can make things happen, and he can carry the ball for deep and get you up the park. And he's also starting to add goals to his game. And we need players like that. And if we could probably get him in the team, and even Bajrami's similar to that, something Asgard has to do as well. Players like that need to look at a young boy and say, right, I mean, Asgard can go buy players and stuff, so can Bajrami. But at the moment, Mikey Moore's the guy that's leading it. He's the guy that's leading by example, and he's starting to play well under Danny Rowe, and long may it continue, bud.
Yeah. Rich, you wanted to chip in, mate?
Oh yes, I think that I was one of the guys, like Southside said, we had started to get doubts because he wasn't actually flowing football wise, and I think either he got dropped or he was off with a wee injury. I can't remember which. But when he came back, people started to see that he can play a bit of football. The difficulty was what position we're going to play him in. Now you could put him through the middle in the middle of the midfield, and he could pick the ball up and run with it, as Southside said. Lovely runner of the ball, and has got himself, shall we say, a bit of a favourite with the fans now. The fans like him, and they get excited when they see him on the ball and he's starting to run. Whereas the first couple of games he played, he was running with the ball and falling over it.
The person you are calling is unable to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone.
Okay, just saying. But I think I agree with Southside 100%. He's starting to be a key person in the team. Now, in saying that, what I'm expecting is him to be playing and have a position for him for the rest of the season. That's what I'm expecting, because I think he's a really good player, and I think the whole reason for it is he's getting match fit, and you can see the way he plays and his pace, and he's getting away from players, whereas he wasn't quite getting away from him before, and they were catching him. But he's getting away. He's got some fitness and match fit, all the sharpness that's needed. It's there for him. So I'm delighted for him, and I hope it keeps it going, and I hope the Rangers fans love him.
Oh, if they fall in love with him more and more, mate, it means we'll be winning matches because of where he plays. Because when guys like him start playing well and make things happen, it means you score goals. Southside done it.
Aye, he's a creator. Like you say, he can make things happen. And listen, he might still be dips in form before they get to the end of the season. He's still young. He's a very young boy. We've got putting a lot of responsibility on him, and a lot of the players in that squad should be helping him and help carry him at times. But he's a talent. Tottenham know he's a talent, and we got him up here to probably toughen him up, play a regular amount of games, big games for a big club. Because Tottenham know what he can do, and he's certainly showed it in many occasions down there that he can showcase his skills. He's done it in Europe for them and that as well. Like I said earlier, I've seen bits of him. So I knew the boy could play, but he came up here at the start when we were going through. We were booing the team for the first game of the season right through. We get rid of Russell Martin. Let's be honest, booed on it half time, full time, and everything. And it doesn't help a young boy, and probably didn't help his confidence. But since Danny Rowe's come in, he's got a bit of confidence. He's getting goals to his game. And you can see, I thought Don Robertson should have played the advantage at Monday night when he burst forward across the halfway line. He could have booked the boy later because he got himself back up. He was wanting to go and run, but he blew the whistle and called him back. But so, as long as he can stay injury free, because you can see some of the tackles that are getting put in him now. There'll be teams out there who maybe think they can take a liberty with him. And that's the last thing we need. We need referees to protect a player like that.
Aye, okay. Look, we've started debating whether they're in this title race. We'll put it to the listeners. Are we back in it? Or are we nuts? Come and join us, 0141 356 1972. Going back to Monday night, Southside, we've not heard from you. Bridge has been on, but we weren't great first half an hour, and for the next maybe 40 minutes we were fine, and maybe argued we should have put the game to bed, and then the last 10 minutes got a wee bit frantic as the nerves kicked in, you know. But I just want to ask you this question, and for the record, by the way, I wasn't saying that. My point with Albert last night, I know people have said that Tav should have been playing this Sunday coming. I wasn't saying that at all. My point is I don't think Aarons is a good defender, and I don't think he's a great player. Nothing to do with Tav at the moment. That was the point I was trying to make with Albert. But everybody's seen it. Tav versus Aarons wasn't that at all. It just happens to be they're up against each other. I'll tell you what, on Monday night, Aarons, who I still didn't think was great, was better than Tav, because Tav, since he's had his illness, he's looked out of form, shall we say, Southside.
I heard a wee bit. I heard a wee bit of your debate today. I had a wee bit of free time, sitting waiting on an appointment this afternoon, and I thought I'd tune in. And I heard your sort of debate.
When your mouth was going numb?
Aye. It's only just no get numb now, tell you. I give you a jag in it last 5 hours. Unbelievable. I never word with that dentist. But I agree with Albert, to be honest. I think he was right in a few of the things he said. I think he can defend. I agree. Listen, we've watched what he did overlap and put crosses in, assists and all that. We get that. The boy Aarons could do that at Bournemouth. He was an attacking sort of defender when he was playing down there in the games that he played at Bournemouth, but he hasn't showed it up here, and he didn't do it as much on Monday night, granted. Listen, I think it's just about giving him a run of games in the team and try and get his confidence back. He might be a player that Danny Rowe might make better ops. You know, he might install that bit more of confidence in him, but playing him on the right-hand side. Tav still always have something to offer. And I think you probably will rotate the two of them, probably going on throughout the season. But now we've got Sterling in there and all, and Sterling can go in there and play that position as well, should they want to change it again. But I know you've got your views on him, and I know if he plays well, you will say he plays well, but he wasn't outstanding on Monday night, but he played all right. No, there wasn't really. Well, Connor Barron. Connor Barron was good.
Thank you, Moore was a good
and Moore.
Part of the game. Yeah. Obviously, Fernandez with the goal and his mazy run was worth the money, wasn't it?
Aye, it was a good header, by the way, where he adjusted himself. And Fernandez, but Aarons, I think, if you're really wanting to judge him, he's really got to have a sort of run of games in that position. But that'll be down to the manager. But I think he's got a wee bit about him, Mox. But I thought he'd have been a bit better and a bit more consistent than what he had. But let's be honest, what player really had a clue what they were doing under the previous manager? And it's took this manager to come in and try and install a bit of confidence. I mean, you start winning games and getting results. That helps every single player in that squad, Ox.
Oh, that's fair, mate. That's fair. So, Bridgman, you want to chip in?
Well, I think with the look of things, we've got three what we would call fullbacks, and they're up for the right side. You've got Sterling, you've got Aarons, and you've got Tavernier. Based on in history anyway, Tavernier has been the best of the fullbacks of those three. But I think Aarons is coming in, but I don't think any of the three of them are actually fully match fit. I think they're just starting to get fitness back, and they've got another couple of games to go before they start to see the touches coming into them. But I think Sterling might be the person that will come through there, and I mean that in all honesty. He's big, and he likes to run, and he's got a good stride on him, and he's fearless. I think Sterling is the better of the fullbacks. Now that's not to say if Tav starts to play again, you might find a different man. If he gets his fitness back, you might see even a player be able to turn the clock back 2 years
And
two
they'd be a
seasons.
share, mate. And they'd be a share, mate. You'd need to
Absolutely,
turn back
100%. I agree. But I doubt very much that Tav will ever see that type of fitness. So if you're going to put a fullback on, then you might. I don't know how you would pull Sterling on when you're fully fit. I don't know if you would just pull him off, but you might and put Tav in. I don't see Tav playing a number of seasons for us now. I think his days are up. I mean that on the greatest respect to him. He's done a fabulous job for the Rangers over time, and he's still a good captain to the club as well. But captains have to show it on the pitch and do it on the pitch and so on and so forth. And the way Tav's playing at the moment, I don't think he's quite doing it.
Signs of time wait for no man. You know?
Never waited for me.
He's lost pace, and I mean, even the goal we lost in Europe a week before, the boys went down the left wing, and he's just put a wee bit of pace in, and his left half for dead, and puts a cross in, and Fernandez is all over the place, and the boy scores with a header. He's not got the pace. He's been found wanting in Europe a few of the games there. You can see the minute the ball goes out left. Average players sometimes have just got a bit of pace running by him now, and it's sad to see in a way for James Tavernier, because probably no see a right back like that again for what he's done for us. I mean, for a good number of seasons he was up and down that wing all the time. He had a fantastic engine in him, fantastic energy in him, and he was, I mean, crossing balls, assisting, even he's still scoring goals here and there, but not as regular as what he had. But he carried us for a good number of seasons as well, and he was top goal scorer in Europe when we got to the final, and he scored many a goal in the run up to the final. So it's just a pity that now that he doesn't have that engine and that pace. And that's why sometimes he gets criticised, but he was a fantastic player. For what we paid for James Tavernier and what he's gave us, it's phenomenal, a phenomenal return. You know, but like you say, time doesn't wait for anybody, and sometimes you'll get criticised because you're not as sharp and you're not as quick, but I think you'll see this season out, but I don't expect James Tavernier to be there next season. Not a chance, I wouldn't think.
In this forum, this new, mate, in the last few games, you shake hands and you move on, mate. Yeah. For best for both.
I don't think it would matter what forum he's on, Ox. I just think it will be time for him to go, regardless. Even if he was going out and playing out his skin this year to the end of the season, I still think it's time he moves on.
If you're still doing a job, mate, you'd be daft not to consider it. But at this moment in time, yeah, nah.
Seen it, but when it comes another pre-season and another season starts, you know, then the legs go.
I mean, I was off for being Ryan Jacker another year. That didn't work out with him, did it?
Aye, I mean, you judge him on this season and what he does, right? And if he does, it's when it comes next season. But again, Ox, it's the legs go at some point, and listen, his legs have gone basically. He's not the player he was. He can sometimes go into the right positions and that, but I've been watching him for a wee while now, and there's players just going by him. They only need to put a wee bit of pace on and down the flank. You know, you could count in many games in the last wee while he's been beat down that right hand side for pace. You know,
it's always a telling sign, mate. Always a telling sign when players start getting away with their fouls. Aye. Always a telling sign because you just do it because you can't get there. Bridge started doing that when he was 19.
But what he's saying is absolutely true, and it's a big criticism of players when they get to the tender age, a tender older age type thing. So you used to see players starting up at just for saying centre forward, and when they get to a certain age, they would drop back into the midfield, and then before you know it, they're back at centre half or some defensive role because they can't run the same as they were when they were running all over the place, you know. And we've had some really good defenders that started off up front and were good up front, you know. But unfortunately, it's not a natural role for somebody to play when they've got to have that special thing, you know, to play up front all the time. and midfield as well. If you've not got the actual trickery to play football, dribbling's an art, and I think you used to do a bit of dribbling, Oxchair.
I mean, Southside was doing a bit of dribbling this afternoon.
He used to dribble on his jumper.
I know, but no, but it's true. You know, up certain parts of the pitch, you know, you wouldn't see wee Willie Henderson or Willie Johnson running and playing it right back and left back. They just wouldn't happen. But the thing is, the guys that are playing football now sometimes have to be there because they're up and down the park, and we don't have anyone now that's absolutely 100% good at that. And now maybe with young Sterling coming back, that might make a difference on the right if he's going to play and if he's fortunate enough to get back and 100% fit and get his position back at right back, and he could play up there and somebody could do it. Tab used to do it brilliantly, but it used to be able to interlink. What was the wee Brazilian guy he played with? Was it Cardozo? And was it Cardozo? Was it?
You think the Portuguese boy?
Portuguese guy, right. Going. What's his name?
Candias,
that's him. Candias used to fill in for in the midfield. Used to drop behind Tab and let Tab do what he's doing. I thought he'd a smashing back up for Tab there, and they used to play off each other. Very good, and that enhanced his game for Tab. And I thought he'd a marvellous time when that boy was there. Anyway, I'll not go too far. I'm starting to talk rubbish, I think.
Aye, listen. At this moment in time, no, Tab should be gone, Aaron should be gone, mate. And Sterling, as Bridge mentioned, might be the only right back or the guy who plays right back at Square Club. I still think that the best I've seen Sterling play for us has been the defensive midfield role. But that's just the way I've seen him. I know he's a utility player Southside.
Aye, he did have some good games in there. And listen, he could probably go in and do a job in certain games in that position. But I think when we signed him, he was a right back. He was asked early doors about playing centre back, and he said no, it wasn't really for him. And he said that straight away in an interview. He's fault in at left back. We've seen him right wing, left wing, centre mid. And I agree, he also had some no bad performances in there. But when you put a proper midfielder in there, you know, a proper midfielder that we should hopefully buy in time, then we knew he wouldn't be in the team. We knew he would come back out the team and he would probably go back into one of the preferred positions, would have been at full back, I think. And then obviously he gets that injury, which put him out for quite a long time, and we're just getting him back again. So I'd like to see him try and get a run in the team at some point, but it's just putting him in where we need him at the moment, because it's a bit of a jigsaw now for Danny Rowe to pick players and pick a squad. And you can see the way the team's been lining up in the last few weeks. There's no many could pick the team the way he's picked the team, and some of the players that have come in and played, which we thought might know, and midfielders that was left out and stuff like that, and other ones that have come in and played. And if you look on our Barron's an example, he's been miles out the picture at the start of the season when he was miles at it, and then you look at him now, he's quite an integral part of the team at the moment, because he works hard, but he lacks in a lot of areas as well. And he's put Butland under pressure just a couple of weeks ago. Missed at passes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the players come in, they take their chance, and he's full of heart and desire, the wee man. So he's getting a chance to now, but we know we need better in these areas, Ox. But Sterling, aye, take my hat off to him. Happy he's back in the squad and happy he's got game time. He makes a difference to our team when he's fit and when he's playing.
He'll just not be messed about, Southside, you know?
Aye. No, he's got a physicality, and I think he's got the right type of attitude. And you've seen what he said when Clement was there about Dundee, about some of the players in the dressing room and that. And I like that. I know the management team didn't like it, but listen, if that's what he thinks and that's what he saw, he calls it out. So he's obviously got something about him. He's not scared to voice his opinion. And I think he's that type of player. I think he's full-hearted and full-blooded. And it's good to get him back in the squad, Ops.
Aye, listen, we're going to move to the tune. What do you fancy tonight? Are you going to have a wee ditty for Albert, or you got one for something different, Southside?
It's just time to get the battle fever on, isn't it?
Wow.
Time to get the battle roar on, mate.
Oh, the battle fever on. Aye, it'd be interesting. Aye, listen, the momentum's starting to build, and I think the thing is, people get a spring in their step, spring in their voice. We're all talking to each other on and off there. People are maybe looking forward to the games again. Well, if you're honest, there was a period there for maybe 2 months, Bridge. It became torture.
Absolutely, and I don't think there was any Rangers fan happy at all up until a certain time when it happened, when things happened. But it really and truly, we went through an absolutely terrible time with that manager, Russell Martin. I don't know where he came from. I don't know who picked him, and happily between them, the two of them are gone and done it anyway. But really and truly, it was just shocking. Now I hope it's Danny goes in and does it, you know. Danny roll. So let's hope he's going to do it. It looks good. I'm happy up to now, and it's taken him his wee while to get his feet under the desk and do the business. So now it's all about out in the park now. It's all about out in the park for him. He's got to get the players and start doing their good moves, and see if we can get some consistency in the team, strength in the players, and it'll happen. It will happen. Providing we've got it in us, it'll happen.
And you've seen Southside, and you've seen sitting there that he's done tactically.
It's changed wee things from time to time. I think it's just getting a reaction out the players, obviously talking to them and they're responding to them. I think that's more. I mean, some of the performances haven't been great. Sometimes we've struggled in games, but we've found a way to win. And that's something that no matter what, if the performance is poor, it's about doing the business and getting the right result. And that's what it's about. Points to our performance at the moment, because we need to stay in the hunt. We know we're lacking in quality in a lot of areas. We're struggling in certain areas of the team, but he's getting a tune out of some of these players. So as much as we're getting the results at the moment, we could be playing better phone football. Like you said, listen, we were better at Dundee United, but we didn't get the points up. We're patchy there. We're patchy in games, but we've picked up 3 points. So at the end of the day, I'd rather pick up the points than play the sulky soccer at the moment. We will play well in some games, and we'll probably we can turn and say, well, it was a good 3 points and we played well. But at the moment, we need to grind results out, because we're not really putting in a 90-minute performance throughout the 90 minutes in many games at all. But we're getting the results. So for me, he's mixing and matching, which he's having today. And he's doing it quite well, and the players are responding. And listen, we've got another couple with injury. We're hoping we'll come back. I don't know when Bizrami will be back. And same with Majovski. You wonder how long, so we've picked up injury.
He had a fitness test on Monday morning, mate, which hopefully point out that he was close, yeah? Yeah, that's what I'm taking out of that. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think he might be able to play a part on Sunday at Tynecastle, even if he's no starting, or you never know, he could come in and start if it shows a level of fitness and they're happy with him and no reactions. Then why no? If he thinks he should start, he'll fling him in. But he's patching this team together now. But they're showing a resilience for him, and willing to play for him, and willing to work. Whether maybe some of the hearts on the end being there long term or no, he's getting a wee bit of performance out of the Mox. So that's what we can hope for at the moment. So tactically, sometimes you wonder when he's making the subs, and you can say, I think he should have done this or done that. But listen, he's picking the players, and some, maybe one or two, I might think, why did you pick him? Why is he starting? I don't think he should start. But at the end of the day, he's the manager. He sees them in training. He speaks to them all the time, and he's working with them closely. And we're only going there week in, week out and following them as a supporter. He's working closely with them. And as long as they're doing the business for him, then he's can really complain, can we?
Right, get yourself mute, gentlemen. We're going to have a tune.
why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, it was Fox giving you enough battle fever to let your jag warm off.
Aye, that was staunch, wasn't it?
Absolutely staunch.
Oh dear. Aye, come and join us. Give your thoughts about Sundays. We start building up to it. As we all accept it's a big game, massive game. Actually looking forward to it, Southside.
Aye, looking forward to Sunday. Tynecastle's usually a good atmosphere. You don't need to walk far to the ground for where they park the buses. From back in the day, when you used to have to walk about 1.5 mile, you remember? 2 mile or something, remember?
Aye.
Up to, used to have to walk a good bit to get there, but now you're parked round the back and it's a wee 5-10 minute walk round to Hingme. It's just a pity. I know they filled their ground, to be honest. They're one of the teams that sort of fill it compared to the rest of them that have been cutting their allocation. And we only give Hearts 800 when they come to Ibrox, so they've managed to fill their ground with a lot of their season ticket holders and that. Although they give Hibs the full end and vice versa, they do that for them. We'll get 576 or whatever it is, 564 tickets for the game, but looking forward to it. And it doesn't really matter how many we put in there. You always hear the Rangers support at an away game. And looking forward to Sunday. And I'm sure it'll be a happy journey back down the road when we get the 3 points in the bag.
Aye, it's all about money. It's the same as Monday night, Bridgeman. It's all about getting a result.
Yeah, concentration's on that 100%. And I'm quite happy if they defend properly in the second half. It might lighten the load of the pressure, that is, you know. But I always take a 1-0 for Rangers anytime, for me, anytime at all. A smart result for us if we ever get it. Obviously, I'd love 5-6 goals and things like that, and some superb play. But you ain't always going to get that, particularly with the referees in our country, because a lot of fouls don't get given against Rangers, and they're really quite bad fouls, you know, and they're not notified. And Rangers players get booked for it, and whenever they touch in, they get booked. Invariably in every game, it's a Rangers player's the first person to get booked. That's invariable, you know. So I just want Rangers to play well whenever we can. But if you manage to, shall we say, not lose a goal, then that's a big bonus. And if you can score a goal, that's fantastic.
Listen, you know, a lot of teams historically winning leagues don't lose a lot of goals, you know. The game's changed slightly, but we've no scored that many. And bizarrely, our defence is equal best in the league. That's mental, Southside, isn't it? Mental.
Aye, we've not been getting away as many chances on our goal either.
You think back, mate.
Aye, it's been 15, 18 shots and goal in it at one point against us, and we're no probably defenders on the day in the daftness. And I mean, we're asking John Suter to do things like when he was in the team, carry the ball out for the back, and then he would go so far, and he was playing on the left one side, and there was only one option for him at that time, being right-footed, and getting ourselves into trouble. We're trying to make passes that weren't their own, or if we did make the pass, we're putting the player under pressure. So that we're stopped that sort of nonsense, and I think we're playing a wee bit more as a sort of team and a unit. But at the same time, we could move the ball up the park a bit quicker at times. And I think there's still a few players in the team that could be doing a bit better. And I include Gasman in that. I thought the other night, well, what are you doing? I mean, if you remember, it near the end of the game, he's made a good run. He could have passed the ball, and he's carried it. Aye, I couldn't remember who it was. He should have passed it to, but that was shocking. And then he's tried to cut inside at the edge of the box, edge of the 18-yard box, and done nothing with it, which was poor decision making for him. And that should have been crisper, and he should have made the pass. But on the whole, it's probably a bit of inexperience and probably try to maybe go out and be a hero. But he should have made the pass walks, and decision making for some of your players needs to be a wee bit sharper and a wee bit better as well. And some of them need to up their performance a wee bit and try and get a wee bit more consistency into it as well. But on the whole, listen, we're in this fight. We're right in the middle of this. We're a few points off Hearts at the moment, but we'll get a chance to rectify it on Sunday. Be going there and picking up 3 points. And that would put a dent into them, and then we see how they react for that going forward, because it'll be a wee while before we have to play them again, and it'll be back at Ibrox.
Their next game's away to Hibs, mate.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that puts pressure. Listen, the pressure's all on Hearts anyway. You know, they're the team at home, they're the team in form. Yeah, well, no form, but they're the team that's top of the league. And they'll be thinking that we're coming to their place and it's their home game and they should be good enough to pick up 3 points against us. So why they'll be looking at it. Needs to make sure that you stop Shankland, stop the wee boy Braga, and we just get set about them. And hopefully we can create chances. They're the two most dangerous players up front. We need to cut them out. Make sure we keep them from not being dangerous against us and giving them any chances. And try and impose your game onto them and make them worry about things. But if we can create enough chances in the game, and we can take 1 or 2, if we score first stocks, that'll be a big advantage for us, and that's what we need to go and do at Tynecastle, is go and score early. We've been there a good few times, we've managed to come back with good results, so why not this time as well?
Well said.
Yeah. You know, aye, listen, look, we're improving. No spectacular, Bridge. I don't know if it's a bounce. It's definitely not a leap. But also, Danny Rowland, the manager, he's come in and he's had to deal with a bit of adversity. You know, guys that he maybe thinks would be starting or picking up knocks, mate.
Yeah, he's getting the worst of that type of thing. We've got quite a few people are injured at the moment. I'm talking about his squad, you know. I know there's historically quite a few still injured there, but we had fresh injuries from some players so we wouldn't expect to lose to injury, but it's happened. And I think he's going to be able to stroll through the games in his mind, and all he's wanting to do it for themselves, make yourself better, and make sure you don't make too many blunders, because he knows the team's riddled with blunders at times. You know, if we can get these blunders minimised and cut out altogether, particularly defensive ones, then you might be quids in. But I do think that the manager has got a good idea what he wants with the players, and I dare say he knows their limitations, and any decent manager would, and he should be able to have an idea what he's going to do in January to see if he can alleviate some of the problems we've got, or the lack of quality, and hopefully he'll get that. You know, just for saying sake, you might bring a quality midfielder in, and the whole team can change, because they'll just want to play with that guy. You know, literally play with him, but play around about him, no problem at all. Link in with him and go on and do it. Sometimes it can be difficult, but if you've got a really good player who's actually telling you what to do, and it's a different thing. And that's what you need. You need a couple of people that can actually play the game of football and understand what it is to challenge and be challenged and be top of the league and stay at the top of the league and win the league. That's what you need. And you need people that can actually do that, and that'll go right through the whole squad before long. And then you'll soon find out, and any other guys don't want to be part of that, then they don't deserve to be part of Rangers. And it's simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. But we need to get, hopefully, I'm speaking like this because of the transfer window that's upcoming, and we need to get a couple of people in of a decent quality that's going to improve the players that we've got, and improve the quality of the players that we've got. And you never know, you might see a big change in Rangers the way they go forward next season. I hope so. I think that's everybody's wanting to do. Want to see a big improvement in our team.
Aye. Yeah, I get it, but I get where you're coming from. I just, the jigsaw pieces. He's I don't know if he's got his four corners yet, if that makes sense. Southside, but what he does to me, he seems very relaxed, as if he knows what's coming, mate, and he's quite positive with it. Just a vibe I get. Again, I've nothing to back that up or anything they said. Just the vibe I get.
If they're a manager, aye.
Aye.
He's heard him using quotes. He knows what type of player he wants he needs for the squad. He knows what it is to be a player at Rangers now. He knows what you need to have as a character, by the sounds of it. He spoke about it a few times, so he seems to be getting it and knows what he's looking for. And he's getting his points across. And listen, he's working all right. He's getting his results at the moment with that squad, and we know that squad needs a lot done to it. It needs a lot of players to come in, and it'll take him at least another 2 or 3 windies before we get it sorted out as a football club. Never mind who'll be the manager. And all we can do is support him at the moment, and he's getting the team and getting a bit of momentum going. If you probably look at the results and everything that's been happening the last wee while with the form team, or the last number of games in the last number of weeks, which we wouldn't have thought was possible when you look at the squad of players and what they were performing in and what was happening. But slowly and surely, he's starting to tweak it, and he's starting to get things right, and people were getting the right results and building a bit of momentum with a couple of blips. And like you say, if you manage to hold on at Tannadice and go and had a better performance against Falkirk, with the 4 points better off. So listen, he's doing a job in the Hawks, and we need to support him and get behind him. But hopefully the club will give him the reinforcements in January that he needs to try and make a push and get a bit more consistency and get us winning maybe easier games. And we're no hanging on, and we're no, like we did the last 10 minutes, we looked a wee bit shaky. Hibs were starting to come into the game, knocking high balls in and stuff. We need to try and control games more and make sure that we're winning them long before it gets to the last 10 minutes of the 90.
The second goal makes it easier to play better football, Bridge, doesn't it? It's always nervy in the last 10 minutes. If you're 1 up, even if you're dominating a game, it changes people's mindset. But if you've got that second goal, they seem to, there's no issue. They make that forward pass, they try and hurt teams, and sometimes you get a third or a fourth, but your play maybe deserves. But if you're that 1-0, just seems to, the doubt's always there, isn't it?
Yeah, 1-0 is for players on the pitch. If they're not 100%, I mean, it's sometimes a great level because both teams are really going for a goal. One to make it to 2, and another one's going for an equaliser. So it becomes a really tough game. And the better teams should be able to see themselves through. But I just love that, and I think what you were saying there, that when you start to play in football, you start to play these things, and all the time in my latter career, people used to look to me because I was more experienced than the other, and you can bring them on. We've not got very many, shall we say, experienced players.
By the way, Bridge, here's one for you. Take Butland out the team at the weekend and Monday night, and the 10 outfield players, the average age was 22.
There you go. So we've got a whole squad of players who are not the most experienced players. But this season, if we do well this season, and we've done well up to now, so if they can build their confidence and any wee lack of confidence, get that in there and put it into the pot and see what happens. Because there's nothing like it. There's nothing like confidence going out onto the park. Now, I know these players are all brilliant players. Let's be very honest. They've got a reputation of being good. And sometimes the big crowd at Ibrox frightens out of life with them. But they just sometimes don't look as if they can play football at all. But we know they can.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
All right, brothers. All right, Bridge man.
Good man.
How are we doing, Ross? What's your mind, mate?
What we're thinking for Sunday? What we're going for, lads? We're going for 2-1, 4-1. What we're going for?
Oh, I take a Bridge man, Southside.
Hi, how you doing, Ross?
All
I
right,
take a
brother.
Bridge man myself. Are you good, pal? I'd take a Bridgeman, but listen, looking to do a wee number on them. I think they're due a 2 or a 3-0 after Famous. So I'd look to get a couple, 2 or 3. But listen, Ross, as long as we come back with the 3 points for Edinburgh, that's what matters, buddy.
No, hopefully, mate, we come back with a wee result, mate, just to second this lot again, mate.
What about you, Ross? How have you seen it?
I'll go for, I'll say 3-1. Let's go for it.
Okay. Bridgeman, what are you predicting? I'm just going to write this down. Bridge?
A wee 1-0 to us.
I'm surprised at that outside.
Hey, let me think about that. No.
Ross, I mean, we're not playing fantastic. I think we all recognise that, but we're getting results, mate.
I mean, if we don't win on Sunday, mate, there's something wrong with us again. I mean, we really need to go for it this time. Honestly, big time. Let's go for us, Rangers. Name up and about on Sunday.
It's a big game, mate. It's a big game. Always is a big game going to Tynecastle. And obviously, it's one of the games. It's a result of our performance, mate. Yeah.
Aye. Hopefully we get a wee result, like, and hopefully the ground's busy, because obviously folk will be finished up for Christmas, so we should get a few boys out for a wee swally before the game and after it.
Oh, the world doesn't stop. There are a lot of people working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mate. You know.
No, but I'm finished up. That's me to January, shop on the brink Sunday afternoon. Let's go for it.
Love it. Well said, Ross.
It's all right for some. It's all right for some. Side,
Full flags out the wind and the tune's on before the game and after it.
Well done, Ross. Well done, mate. Southside.
Aye, some will still be grafting, mate, for a couple of days yet, but good on you. Listen, it gets to this time of the season, innit? It's the festive time, and it's the time you've got to sort of make sure you get the right results and keep everybody in a good mood, Ross, because we've had plenty to suffer for the last wee while. You get the feel-good factor back, mate. I mean, you start keep this league alive, and we've got plenty to play for, mate, and there's plenty to get. We're right in the mix. But Hearts will be a hard game on Sunday. They'll look to think that they can do a number on us on Sunday. They're at home. But listen, we've got to go there. We've been going there for recent seasons and we've been doing all right. I think we've got Nick Walsh as the referee, so hopefully we'll maybe fling Butland a hard hat to wear on Sunday, just in case he doesn't see anything that's happening. Maybe he should come out with a hard hat on Butland. But listen, there's nothing to fear, mate. Honestly, we've got nothing to fear. We've got a bit of momentum. We've got a feel-good factor coming back. Mikey Moores can get us up the park. He's playing well. Majowski started to score goals. Should he be fit? And if he starts, he'll be another plus for us. And the only thing we've got to think is how Danny Rowe will rejig the defence slightly, which he'll have to do. But apart from that, we don't even know what team he'll pick. It's hard to know, isn't it, Ross? He's jigged the team about a wee bit, but I think probably you could say Butland and Connor Barron are 2 and Fernandez 3. That will definitely start. After that, he'll probably jig it about depending on who's fit and who's available. But they 3 will definitely be starting in your team on Sunday, I would think. But anybody else, you never know with fitness and what's happening. He might jig it slightly with other players, but we've got an idea, a nucleus of players. But he said a jigsaw to work with, mate, and he's still getting results. So all we can hope for is we come back with the 3 points and then we're right in the mix, buddy.
I was going to say to you, what about obviously again the Mickey game in January? Are you happy with a Saturday game, or are you not wanting the Sunday? Are you happy with the Saturday?
I've looked up for it.
3rd of January. 3rd of January.
You happy with it?
Saturday. Saturday, mate. Aye, why no? It's a Saturday, isn't it?
Aye, yep. The boys should move for a good swallow in the Saturday against the Mickey lot.
There seems to be a lot of drink in your life, Ross.
Oh, I like a good swallow in the Rangers player. I like a good swallow.
I've never noticed when you've been on here, mate.
These are all good guys, mate, honestly. I just want to say is, Mon the Rangers, no surrender. Let's go for Sunday.
Well, go on
Cheers,
yourself, pal.
Frost.
Go on
You
yourself.
look after yourself. Enjoy your day,
No,
brother.
no surrender, brother.
Cheers, mate. At least he enjoys himself, eh? Lucky him, Southside,
Aye, Ross is always positive, isn't he, when he comes on? Always positive.
Always buzzing. Top man. Funny. But just you can feel I don't know. Hopefully it carries on after Sunday, mate. You can feel things changing, Bridgeman. Yeah?
Yeah, I think the fan base are starting to feel that. They just need to look back at the whatever it was, 8 out of 10 or something like that. So that's pretty cool, you know. So we've got a number of games on the row, wins. It's things that we couldn't talk about for God knows how many months, you know. But now we can talk about these things. Say that looks really good. So is it 5 and 6? Is that 6 games in a row won? Is that what it is?
No as many as that, mate. We've won.
Many have we won in a row?
Won 6 out of 8.
6 out of 8. There you go. That's the figures. That's the figures. I'm happy with that. And what a difference, eh? What a difference. You know, so 8 weeks ago, we weren't looking like this. We weren't feeling like this, that's for sure. It was a bit of trepidation when we were going to some of these games. But now the fans should be able to kind of relax, and you can feel that. And they'll see the team. Obviously, we want them to continue the improvement that's there. And if they can do that, then brilliant. Don't want them to be just static and stay where they are. But we don't want to go back away. Definitely not go back away. Go forward and see what we can do. But at least hold the positions that we've got and gain the points. And I think the fans are looking forward to that. The fans don't want to be booing the Rangers players off the park. Definitely not. I don't think anybody wants that. But the players must have really drove them to the ends, you know, to make them boo, you know. So at least with the reasons for it.
At the start of the season, mate, I just don't want to compare to that mob, but there's sometimes that people aren't a good fit and you get it wrong, and we got it wrong with Russell Martin, and I think he wasn't wanted, which always makes it difficult Southside. And then even you could feel it even in the first friendly against Bruges, mate.
Aye. It wasn't a good fit. It wasn't a good experience for the players, and it certainly wasn't a good experience for the support. We're going week in, week out, and other people were just watching Rangers in general. As I told you, I bumped into him in one of the European games, and he said he would get it right. And it didn't transpire that way, obviously. Because that night I met him, we went on and played Bruges, and we got an absolute down away from him. So, but listen, it's changed when he left. We got rid of him. Probably should have got rid of him sooner. But now we're back in the hunt again, and that's how football changes. And let's be honest, we're only back in it because two teams have started to implode, to be perfectly honest. Hearts went on a bad run there, dropped points, and now that mob across the city are doing the same. And it's put us right back in the mix. So we've got to try and take advantage of it now. Now we're back in it, you know, and that's what we've got to look at.
And put pressure on them, you know, put pressure on the two of them, you know. I get it, mate. I mean, look, there's nobody, I don't think I've heard anybody on here come on and say we've played well. Arguably, our best performance domestically on the road was at Paradise, you know. But that's mad. You drop points when you play better, so that just shows you points over performance, as Albert says, Rich. Southside.
Aye, that's it. It's racking up the points, you know. You can go on and talk about performances and stuff, and if you can get a good performance, but we've not a 90-minute performance at all. We've been playing all right in patches, but we're grinding out results, you know. And at the moment, that's what we need to do. We just need to make sure that we're picking up the points. We're getting a victory at the end of it, and then we'll see where it takes us. And like I say, if you can put in a good performance during it, then so be it. But at the moment, we just need to try and keep momentum going and just keep winning. And if it's scrappy games but we're winning, then so be it at the moment. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to get success at the end of the season, you're going to be picking up a trophy or two, then it doesn't matter how you get there and how you get to that point. It's just about winning. And listen, we've watched, even we're winning 9 in a row and all that, we never played well every week, Oxford, you know. We scrapped and fought in games to get a victory, but we still got there in the end. But this squad isn't good enough, and we know it needs improvement. But while they're still starting and playing for the club at the moment, they need to scrap and fight for every point, and they'll realise that they've got a chance to make themselves heroes come the end of the season as well. We've been let back into it, so it's now to try and take advantage of it.
When the door opens in life, mate, you've got to push it ajar and take your chance, Brad, shouldn't you?
Oh yeah, you've got to smash it open. You got to do it, and you've got to have the bottle to do it. There's a lot of folk don't want to do that. They want to just go in after somebody else. But everybody should now at Rangers. Every player should be wanting to smash the door down and get through there and go and do whatever they need to do. They've played. I think they've played all the teams now, if not necessarily at their home ground, but they've played all the teams and they know what to expect when these teams come out. Because the teams are going to come in there, and because it's Rangers, they're going to play harder. And if they know some of the players are a wee bit weak, then they'll double up on them. These kind of things are going. That's going to happen throughout a game, and they must get themselves up for that. And you can see the boys starting to do that here in their team. You can just see that happening, and they're waiting out for it. And you know they're watching they're trying to gauge what they're doing. And obviously, we don't have enough players up front to give them a target to hit with passes. But their passing game just needs to improve a wee bit. And once they see the passing improving, they can start to see the game then. And you know, you look up and you can see 5 or 6 players, but who am I going to give it to? Normally, good wee midfielders can look up and just say, I'm putting it right there because I can see a player there. That's it. And the nice crisp passes. We've got to learn how to do it, or to continue to learn to do that.
I get the point, and I think some of the relationships and they'll not be building because we've never had any continuity Southside, really, if we're honest.
No, he's having to keep mixing the team about, isn't he? Keep having to change players selection-wise and stuff. We've not had probably 3 or 4 team selection together at all. So, no, it can only work with it. The only thing is we've got a wee bit of time to try and work with them in training this week, because we've had the games in Europe and stuff to contend with, and it gives them a chance to work with them on the play at Auchenhowie and put something together. But we've not had any continuity really with the sort of players forming partnerships with each other. They're just having to gel as they go along.
Aye, I get it, mate. It's the fixtures have got a bit to do with it as well.
Aye, 100%. But this is what we're at, and the squad is where it is at the moment. But listen, we just need to try and keep winning. And if we can keep winning, it puts the pressure on the teams that we're chasing Ox at the moment.
Aye, I get it, mate. I get it. They're under pressure as it is. Look, we're moving to the last bit of the show. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
It's going to be interesting how he sets up the defence. You know, who will play. I mean, Jiga's been playing the right, so I think the only constant you have at the moment is Mike Holm and Fernandes will be starting Southside.
In Butland.
And Butland,
aye, probably. Because he sort of juggled it about a wee bit. If you need to sort of balance on the left-hand side, and probably they two, it'll be interesting to see whether Enciala comes in on Sunday and starts, or whether he maybe plays James Tavernier and sort of right-hand side of the defence, or he might even find might try Sterling in there, you don't know. But interesting, it's all be things that he'll have to work on coming up to Sunday. But I think you would probably find Fernandes and Magoma would probably play, although Fernandes could probably play on the right, because the more I've watched him, he is predominantly more right-footed than he is left-footed, although he has been playing on the left. So it'll be interesting to see if Fernandes moves out to the right-hand side.
Aye. Just one thing on Fernandes. I thought he'd done all right. I mean, lovely bit of skill. Everybody had their heart in their mouth. Scored a good goal, mate, but he's just got to learn that sometimes you can't get too close to people, Bridget.
Yeah, 100%.
You give away a big advantage, mate, yeah.
Yeah, you give it away. And these players aren't stupid. They know where you are. They know exactly where you are, and they're backing into you or whatever they're going to do.
Just feel, Bridge. Doesn't matter how big or strong a guy is, you just want a touch, he's there, mate.
That's exactly it, pal. And you know, they get you to a certain position. Some of them are really good and strong. The upper part of their body strong, and they can spin you. And before you know it, you're struggling. You know, I mean, really struggling. And they're gone. If they can get, Alan McCoist was fabulous at it. He could get a yard and a half on you, and you're never catching him. You're just never catching him, and he's away. And that's why he scored a lot of goals, because they knew people round about him. He knew what they were doing, and it was people. Some folk didn't actually mark Alan McCoist tightly because they knew he could do these things. He scored a lot of goals. They're genius at centre forward. So these are the kind of things that our players need to be aware of. That other players, you might be big, you might be quite strong and a really good header of the ball, but if somebody's in there elbowing you, giving you an elbow here and there, and just pushing you in general, putting their weight on you, you've got to be able to stand your own ground and stand still, and don't let them barge you out. But it's good. I think that big Fernandes is going to be a smashing centre half for us. I really do. I got a great feeling about that. But he needs other people in defence that would be every bit as good as him. And for me on Sunday, it would be me. I would be taking Sterling. I'd be doing Sterling. I'd be doing what do you call him? No Giga. I'd be playing Fernandes in the right side, playing Inciela on the left side, and play the young boy. Sorry.
Aye, I'm listening.
And the young boy, what's it? The wee left back on the left. Can't remember his name. Magoma. That's him. Yeah. That's how I would play it across the back.
Okay.
I wouldn't have any room for Tav at the moment on there.
Don't play well, mate. I wasn't saying that at all the other night, You mentioned McCoist and Hearts games. One of my favourite McCoy stories. I think it was an Ibrox game, Southside, and McCoist tried to get close to Levine and spin him, and it didn't work out. Levine read it because it wasn't a bad defender, let's be honest. Then they tried his dummy alley when the ball was played in, they tried to dummy, and Levine came forward. And on both occasions, he said to McCoist, with the ball, he said, I've seen them moves that often in the tele alley. It was a doddle. 2 minutes later, McCoy scored and he slid in his knees. And he said, you've seen this in the tele a lot and all. But it was a brilliant line.
One of the best lines ever, that one, I tell you.
Aye. But the difference when Bridge played, mate, when he get close to you, he just kicked you in the calf outside so you couldn't run, you know what I mean?
Aye.
But you just can't get close. And you get took out the game, mate. That's the problem. He's got to learn. Happened at St Mirren. I know he fell at Tannadice, and you get caught in the wrong side. It looks bad, and then obviously the drama getting caught in the wrong side when he was playing in Europe and all, So, but he's not played a lot of football at a decent level, if we're honest. And so he has to smarten up. And if he gets that concentration level better, with that height, scores a few goals, once he does defensively, we could have something. You never know, Southside.
Aye. See how it goes in the long term. When you look at Sunday, you look at Hearts. Hearts have been sort of playing a 4-2-3-1, haven't they? Do you think we'll probably match? Do you think we'll match them, or do you think you'll go and play the way we've been playing the the system. I think you'll be quite happy with what we've been doing, sort of playing like the 4-3-3 idea to a point.
Well, did you feel as if it was a 4-3-3 in Monday night there, mate? I felt as if at times he was trying to keep three centre backs, and then obviously Aaron's and Montgomery were to go wide when the ball was in their area. So you sort of had, they were helping the midfielder, Raskin and Barron and what was it, Diamondi, wasn't it?
Aye.
You know, and then obviously
Raskin was a sub, wasn't he?
Aye, Raskin come on. Diamondi and Barron were in there, and then in front of them, obviously you had Moore and you had Moore who was working well, and then obviously up top you had the big Chimity that we've talked about a lot, mate. What was your take on him on Monday night, mate? I've not heard from you.
Thought he'd done all right, to be honest. I like to have thought he could have hit the net. He only made a save in the second half and sort of parried it. I'd like to have probably scored, because you want to be trying to hit the net and get a bit more confidence. But I thought his performance wasn't too bad, to be honest, on Monday. As much as you can criticise him for a couple of things, you still think what you're doing, or you look a bit naive or whatever, but I thought he worked hard and I thought he'd done all right in Monday night. I don't know what you thought.
I thought it was dreadful, mate, if I'm honest. I thought there was a couple of flicks in the first half and he chested it and started okay. And I thought as the game went on, and particularly in the second half, I thought he disappeared, mate. I thought he was everywhere but he shouldn't have been in the second half when we were going forward, mate. Yeah, I just don't see the instinct. The one he hit it fair enough. He hit it well enough. He put it in the arc. And I'm not really blaming him. We've all done that, mate. Obviously, if he hits it hard and low, the chances are it ends up in the net. But it's not always as easy as people think. But the goalie did save it, so the argument is you hit the target. No having a go at him for that. Even though I think he should maybe do slightly better, make it really harder for the keeper. I just don't see the instinct to a centre forward. I really don't. You know, and all right, lovely flick in the first half out the touchline. You know, a lovely flick. You're like, oh, well done, Biggie. And then he broke one down in his chest the first half. But he's never where he should be, mate. And I just don't see it, mate. And I think he's got to go and learn his trade. And learning your trade in the Rangers first team, it's no for me, mate. I really don't. I just think he looks... I'm trying to be kind. He looks raw at best, Bridgeman. Bridge?
Sorry, pal. My wife was shouting at me there. Apologies to everybody. Could you just take what question was, pal?
Come back in, Southside.
Okay.
Aye, I get what you're saying.
I've got a different take on it, you know.
Aye.
You're more positive than I am. You see the positives, I see the negatives, and that's the way we see players. You're always, you know, actually it's slightly different, but that's what I've seen, mate. That's what I've seen.
Aye, it doesn't look like he's got much instinct to know, and he's not getting into positions where you think he probably would go and look for something. But I thought effort-wise and that, and a wee bit in the first half, he was all right. You want him to succeed, you want him to do well, and you want him to maybe try and go on a wee run where he can maybe hit the net a few times, and it might give him a wee bit of confidence. But I know he's still struggling. He find the back of the net. I still think we shouldn't have shelled out that amount of money for him. We should have probably went and got Shankland, to be honest. But we'll be up against him on Sunday, and he'll be a danger. The way Hearts sort of play, they've got even made Devlin in the middle of the park. We need to go in and make sure we can set about him, and that he'll get booked on Sunday. There's nothing surer, because he's that type of player. So the big man, does he start? Probably if Majovski's not ready, there's probably a chance he will start against Hearts on Sunday. If Majovski's come back and there's no reactions, then there's a good possibility. Also, I think he might start Majovski on Sunday up front. But at the moment, he's been sort of changing the two of them about a wee bit, and probably doing it fitness-wise, because both of them have had an injury here or there. But it's kept him out the team. But Majovski's obviously the one that started to show a wee bit of form, scored in Europe and had got a couple of goals before it and started to show something. But the big one needs to try and get on the score sheet a wee bit more regular than now. But I agree with you. He shouldn't have probably. We should never have paid that amount of money for him. We should have looked at another player, but we've done it now.
We can talk about Shankland all day long, but just don't admit it, mate. The mistake was we should never have signed him. He's not ready. Listen, if you'd have signed him and you took a gamble on £1 million for somebody, we'd have been still saying, let's I saw, but you put that price tag on him, Bridgeman, it just people are even more critical. I'm trying to not be critical about the price tag. I'm trying to critique his performances.
You got to gauge his performances, and up to now, actually, there was a few games he did play quite well. Commitment and involvement, and scored a couple of goals. But for some reason, they can't repeat that. Now it might be he doesn't look fit, if you follow what I mean. He's a big, tall fella, and he doesn't look as if he can move with any great pace at all. So that's a negative for him. I do hope that he comes, because I like to see big players in the team. I like to see a big striker, and he's a big striker, 6 feet 3, 4, whatever it is. He'd be a really good player if he could just get his mind on the job. I don't know what it is that's wrong with him, but if anything, if that's him, and if that's the way he is, and he's never going to do any better, then I'm afraid he's been a dud then, and he's never going to learn. But I'll give him some credence, because I think he can play. He's already done it. He showed us he scored a couple of goals, and he's been a real menace to the defences. But recently he's not been done it, so he's not doing it. So I fear for him.
He scored 1 goal for us, mate. 1 goal.
One then.
1 goal. Listen, there's an argument Southside that the centre forwards get a pass, mate, in some respects, because we don't know how good our finishers there. Because there's games we've hardly made any chances, mate, if we're honest.
Aye, I agree. I agree that there's a lot of games at times when we struggle to create chances for our strikers, to give them a chance, and they've looked bad, and they've not been really getting themselves into positions. But we're starting to sort of get it together now slightly, and then suddenly they go off injured. One of them takes an injury. Chimiti came off injured in the European game, and then obviously Majovski picks up an injury as well. But at the end of the day, we've got to try and keep them fit and create chances for them. If we can keep creating chances for them, it's down to them to take the chances. And at the moment, Majovski, as much as I still don't know whether he'll do the business at our club long term. There's sometimes you watch him, he makes nice runs, but the players don't see the run, because they're dilly-dallying with the ball in the middle of the park. And maybe that's been a wee sort of thing as well, as if they'd fired the ball when he's made the run, then they might have got on the end it and maybe it would have been a different result. But at the moment, the two of them have not done much between them really. But I think some of that also in certain games has been done to the lack of chance creation for our strikers.
Aye. I mean, but in saying that, they should have both scored in Tannadice. Both scored. The Hewder and obviously. Here's just a wee look back when we played them and we beat them 3-1 at Tannadice last year. Our team was Butland, Jeffrey and Salah, Suter and Tavernier, Raskin and Diamondi, and Hadji, Lawrence and Cherny, and Igaman up front, mate. So if you look at the front four, mate, compared to what we've got this now, well, even Lawrence, who was a bit of a sick note, mate, when he played, he could play, mate. Yeah.
Aye, Hadji, I think he'd no bad sort of game that day enough, I remember back. Igaman was playing up front. Enciala, who might find himself back in the team on Sunday, possibly. Could could find yourself back in the team. And then if you look at it, you look at Yefty's form at the time, to what we've got now for Magoma, is there much difference between the two of them, really?
Apart from a bit of physicality, no. No, I think maybe Yefty a bit quicker. Would that be a bit quicker? Nothing in it? I don't know.
There's much in it, but Magoma's not too bad.
I'm not saying Magoma's slow. I think Yefty could trap, mate. Diamondi and Raskin in there, they'll be playing, but I think Barron will be playing. I wouldn't be surprised if Barron, Raskin and Diamondi are playing, if I'm honest, mate.
Aye, I think Barron will start. I think he's probably going to get in there and probably what you do is probably need to shut Devlin down in there because he'll be starting for Hearts, I would imagine, with the boy McAtee. I think in the middle of their part they've been playing the two sort of. So it's about winning the midfield battle, and if you're going to try and play the back three and push your two fullbacks one wide, to create an overload in the middle of the park to try and free some of the players up. But if you can win the midfield battle, then you can try and control the game.
Listen, mate, we shouldn't have lost against Hearts at Ibrox. Never.
No.
That first goal should never have stood. And then with the goal chopped off. I don't know why. I look back at it, yeah. And then the penalty was iffy at best, mate. And we played all right without being outstanding. It wasn't as if when you look back, you see a 2-0 defeat at home, you think we were atrocious. Well, we shouldn't have lost it again. I'm not saying we maybe edged it within reason. We never won. We never worked for us, but we should never have lost it again, mate. And there you go. If we'd have drawn it, there's us got a point more and they've got two less. It's a big swing down to officials, mate.
Aye, 100% it was. But it is what it is, and it is part and parcel of what we've done this season. And we just need to go back there and reverse it. We've got players in our team that have done well for them at the moment, and obviously the wee boy Braga looks a decent player. He's going and gets on the score sheet and gets on the end of things. Shankland will always score goals if he gave him chances, so we've got to make sure we keep him quiet. And obviously, I would imagine Halkett and Finlay will be playing at the back for them, and that's where we've got to go and disrupt them and get in about them. So we know where we can exploit them as well, Ox, and it's down to us to try and impose ourselves and get the right players in the positions on the park where we can go and hurt Hearts and make sure that whoever he picks in central defence, that they keep an eye on Shankland and we keep an eye on Braga, because they're the two up front at the moment that's been playing well for Hearts. And we've got to make Skilly-Aegis, I think, is the other one that plays on the right-hand side. But Shankland's a danger, If you let him in around about the box, he can hurt you. And Braga looks quite skillful in the times I've watched him. He's quite direct. But apart from that, listen, it's all there in front of us on Sunday to cut into this deficit, and hopefully the players will turn up with the right attitude and application. If we do that and we can get at least 10 players on for them that day out of the 11, then I think we should be good enough to beat Hearts.
Yeah, mate. Bridgeman, yeah.
I think that was good what was said there. I like the way you said it, some of that stuff there, Southside. I'm thinking, I'm going to ask you a question on the midfield. Are we going to play Diamondi? Are we going to play, is it Ashgard? Are we going to play him? Which one?
I think the three midfielders will play. I'll start the game. Will be Barron, Raskin, and Diamondi, mate. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I that's what I think they'll do. But I'm actually back in my mind saying we know we better putting the Ashgard in there, because he started to. I thought he started to play a wee bit better in the last couple of games, but when he came on, But I don't know. I think you can't. I don't think anybody would drop that Barron now. And Rashkan's a good shout, and of course Diamondi too. But it's amazing because we kind of complain a wee bit about Diamondi because he's always getting himself into trouble, and sent off or whatever, And this is a really crucial game. We really can't afford any red cards.
No silly ones, mate. No ones that.
That's what I mean. You really
no.
can't afford it.
No. Listen, I don't think Diamondi's getting the team on form. If I'm honest, I don't think he's been great the whole season.
You don't see him in the team?
No, I think he will start, but I don't think he's kicked the ball all season, mate.
That's why I was saying, would you put Ashgard in instead of Diamandi?
I don't. One shot doesn't get you in the team, mate. Yeah, I'm no. Listen, I thought he done okay in his cameo on Monday night, mate. He done everything that was asked, and he showed up a couple of times when he should have got the ball. I wouldn't be confident of him playing at Tynecastle. I don't think Diamandi, his form's particularly great neither, if I'm honest. What you need at Southside?
Diamandi had been poor for a long time. Wasn't cutting the mustard at all. But I don't know if he'll start. Mikey Wales going to have to find a spot in the team. Raskin, I think, would probably start. Well, I thought Diamandi done some no bad things in Monday. But his form's been patchy. We need players to stand up and be counted. He will give you energy, he will give you work rate, but he's just a bit erratic at times, Diamandi. But we need 11 players to turn up, preferably on Sunday, and it's down to them to make sure that they've been lacking all season in certain departments, and it's now getting to the stage where we need to start putting in performances. So hopefully they recognise that. We turn up every week to watch them, so it's time they turned up every week to play for us, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's what's your good south side.
Aye, thanks for having us on, mate. Looking forward to the game on Sunday. It was always good to do a show with a legend as the bridgeman and your good self. Just like to thank everybody on the YouTube feed that's took part tonight and enjoyed the show and come and join every week, every day and listening to the show. So I'd like to thank them for participating and talking and listening to the show tonight, and everybody else out there on Facebook. And it's all about Sunday, mate. Get the 3 points, and I'm sure the support will be loud and proud. So thanks for having us on.
I'm looking forward to sitting on Saturday afternoon, watching and checking my Southside Super 6-bit. I've got a funny feeling this weekend. Give everybody a lift for Christmas. I'll let everybody know how it's gone, Bridgeman.
I look forward to that, I'll tell you. Some of your comments are quite good. Can I just say it's been a fantastic night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the night. Brilliant, mate, with Southside looking after me and yourself there at Oxford. And, of course, the techie boys in the background. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, remember, huge game at the weekend, biggest game of the season. So everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, and so do they.
Listen, thanks to Southside and Bridge for doing the show, Ross for joining us, Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, All School Blue.